Hello everyone, welcome to B1 Bites. My name is Jusheng and thank you for joining us today for an episode with one of our very own B1 project leaders, Carlie.
Hello, nice to meet you guys. My name is Carlie.
So today we'll be talking about Carlie's experience in B1 and in consulting and just in the general uni life. So to get started, Carlie, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I guess I'm a second year commerce student currently studying at the University of Melbourne. So I'm currently majoring in finance and economics. And I would say that, I'm pretty involved in uni. So then I'm in a few clubs at university, so such as like Business One. So currently a project leader in Business One.
Nice.
So I'm actually in another club called MMI. So then that's my Melbourne Microfinance Initiative.
Nice.
And then I'm an impact evaluation officer there. I'm
Wow.
also involved in a cultural club, so I'm involved in the New Zealand Student Society as well.
Wow, that's so nice. What are your thoughts on university so far? Like, how are you finding it? How's it going?
I would say that honestly it's pretty good so far. I think it was kind of a struggle last year with lockdown. So then in terms of like socializing and actually, I guess, transitioning from high school to university with like the lockdown. But then I would say that now, because we've been on campus for a while, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, and how did you find the move from New Zealand to Australia? Like, is it different or is it pretty much the same?
I would say that New Zealand and Melbourne are very similar. So because we're so close, I would say that in terms of culture, it's very much the same, which is kind of something that I liked. So Melbourne is like very much just Auckland, but a bit bigger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never been to New Zealand. Have you been to Melbourne before moving here?
Yeah, so I've been to Melbourne like I think twice before I moved here, just on holiday.
And what made you decide to come to Melbourne?
Ooh, I would say honestly, wanting to leave Auckland. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
People ask me that question as well. I'm like, I just want to leave Brisbane.
yeah. Honestly, I feel like from high school to university, it's like, I feel like I just wanted something different.
Yeah, fair. That's so fair. Like a new environment and just meeting new people.
Yeah.
Nice. I know you're doing a diploma in computing.
Mm-hmm.
How are you finding that and what made you decide to do a diploma in computing?
I would say that for my diploma in computing, I definitely enjoy my Bachelor of Commerce more. But then I would say my diploma of computing is something different. And then it adds a little bit of, I guess you could say, spice.
Spice.
Yeah, a little bit of spice to my university degree because it's just a good complement for my degree. And it's a good complement for, I guess, a lot of jobs that I would want to go into in the future. So like, for example, for management consulting, if I ever want to do tech consulting or something like that, it will be pretty easy to like go into that just because I would have developed a lot of like the coding skills or like data analytical skills that I would need to like transition. So it would just make my life easier.
Yeah, and is consulting something you want to do after you graduate?
Yeah, it's definitely something I would want to explore, I reckon.
Have you done any fun electives that you'd recommend to people?
Oh, I would say yes, actually.
Yeah.
So I did a subject called business negotiations. So then that's a winter subject. And I would actually recommend everyone taking it because it's a very fun subject and it's a 2-week intensive. So during that subject, basically, you learn how to negotiate with other people. So it's very much a hands-on subject. And then your tutorials, which does happen every single day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you're basically just, I guess, negotiating with all your friends. So then you would be put into different situations where you're like, I guess, in a sense, arguing about what salary you would want to have in a job. Or like you could be arguing about like, oh, I think that you should be doing this instead. So like you could be like put in a situation where you're like negotiating for like different projects and stuff like that. And then like if you do it with a lot of friends, it's honestly like pretty fun.
It's pretty fun. Have you put any of the skills that you've learned into practice?
I would say that yes, in a sense. So then I would say that the main skill you learn from that subject is definitely communication because, and also I guess another skill that you would probably learn is just learning how to, ask the right questions to
Yeah.
get what you want, which kind of sounds manipulative, but then in a business sense, right, it's very helpful.
Or are you looking to do any exchanges in your second year?
I was actually considering it. So I would say that in high school, I had my mind set on doing an exchange no matter what. So I was like, I kind of want to go to an Asian university and like,
that'd be cool.
yeah, and like spend 6 months there and then have something different, I guess, which I guess you can see like, you can identify as like a common trend, me moving to Melbourne and then me wanting something different with the exchange, because I feel like growing up in New Zealand and then also now moving to Melbourne, it's very much Western culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I would just want to experience something different. So then and then also just travel as well, I think.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And how are you finding the balance between uni, work, and social life and all the clubs?
I would say that sometimes it's a bit difficult when there are a lot of commitments for university and I guess for clubs as well. But then it's all about balance, I guess. So then it's just being aware that like, oh, sometimes I won't be able to socialize like in these few weeks. I need to like actually like crunch. So then that's like telling your friends, oh yeah, I have a few assignments this week. I'm like very stressed. I can't go out. And it's very likely that they will be in the same situation as well, no matter like what degree they're doing.
Yeah. See, I feel like right now I'm prioritizing social too much, and especially like staying in college, it's so easy to just talk to people until like 2 a.m. in the morning. And then we just get, even though we like try to get work done, we go to the ACCA, the academic center, and then we say we're going to do work, but we just get carried away with like just talking in general. So I'm like struggling with the uni.
Yeah.
Oh, not struggling, but I'm quite behind actually. It just feels like uni's like a side hustle. But like that's not right. We just shouldn't be like that. Like I'm here for uni. I should be focusing on uni.
Yeah.
But it's all about finding the balance between social life and uni. Because, you know, like FOMO is a big aspect of being able to say no. I actually need to work on my skill of being able to say no because I just struggle.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something you learn in university, honestly. Because I think at some point you realize that you just need to focus, I guess. And then you like, I guess, after a few setbacks, you realize, oh, I need to like prioritize like whatever responsibilities you have. And then,
Okay, so I think we might move on to talking about your time at B1. So can you tell us about, I know you joined last semester, so 2021, semester 2. So you started as a project consultant?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And what project did you work on last year?
So I was under Nelson. So we did a project with Pori. So then they were a no-code app development website. And then I think what we mainly did for them was we helped them to create mock-ups and develop marketing strategies to, I guess, increase their visibility in, I guess, the market. So then that was helping them target a lot of the, I guess, executives in different companies who might want to make websites but just don't want to pay for the exorbitant fees that developers like charge.
Oh, so they just help companies develop websites?
Yep. So then they have a few templates on their website. So then think of Squarespace or think of, I guess, like Wix. So
Wix,
Yeah, so then
Wix.
they have a few like templates on their websites, mainly focused at, I guess, a lot of the internal apps that you might want to create.
Yeah.
And then it's pretty, what they do is they simplify the process of just creating that app. So then it's very easy to, I guess, change things around on the app and just, And I guess at the beginning I was pretty confused because a lot of the work that I was doing was purely research.
Yeah.
And then, but I would say that throughout the trainings through the semester, I kind of got the gist of like how a project is supposed to be structured and stuff. So then like, for example, throughout like the storylining workshops and like the problem solving workshops as well, I guess through them I understood how a project is supposed to work. And then I just finally realized, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing in a project, which is good.
Yeah, that's so cool. And how was your final deliverable? And how was the process of presenting that to the client?
So for our final deliverable, we actually created a presentation, which is pretty online to a lot of the consulting projects, which you might do in consulting clubs. And then we just presented it to the client online via Zoom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you get to do yours in person this year, or is it still on Zoom?
So this year we actually do get to do it in person. So
Okay.
then I would say that our client is pretty excited right now to see our final deliverable, which is pretty exciting, but then also pretty scary, I guess, for my project consultants. Yeah.
Because they put that expectation on you and feel like you have to uphold that standard.
Yeah, I would say that in general as a project leader as well, there's just the added responsibility to make sure that your presentation, your final deliverable is of a certain quality.
Yeah, and being a project leader this year, what is the project that you're working on now?
So I'm currently working on a project with Gobble, or more specifically aspect plan management. And then they're a business unit of Gobble that focuses on the National Disability Insurance Scheme. So then they're a plan management company. And what we're doing right now is we're helping them to do some competitor analysis, research more into the NDIS and then NDIS participants, and then figure out how they can increase their visibility in their market. So then not only how they can, I guess, increase their market share, but then also how they can also get more NDIS participants from those that are previously like self-managed.
Oh, so sorry, I'm a bit confused. What does Gobble actually do?
So Gobble is, and I would say that to put it simply, it's a fintech company that helps with managing your funds.
Managing your funds.
So then you could think of it as an accounting software. And then it helps you keep track of all your bills that you have, and then I guess figure out where your expenses are going, and then simplify the process of paying your bills. So then if you think about as a business, right, you might have like perhaps like 50 to like 100 bills just going in and out of your company, just perhaps like every single month, right? And then sometimes it's difficult to keep track of which ones you've paid, which ones you're paying for, and then also from like which account, and then whether or not they are fraudulent. So then Gobble just helps with that process.
Oh, right. And how does that relate to the NDIS?
So they're a plan management company. So then they help manage the funds of the NDIS participants.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
So then they use the technology from Gobble, and then they apply that to the NDIS participants.
Oh, nice. That sounds so interesting. And what stage of the project are you in now?
So we're actually set to complete the project in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I guess it's nearing the end of the project. And then currently right now, we're just finalizing all of our analysis, developing our final recommendations, and also creating a slide deck, which we'll present to the client in week 12. Yeah, that's why I enjoy, I guess, university clubs, and more specifically consulting clubs as a whole, because it's just a real world application of some of the concepts that you learn in class. So then I think some of the classes that you do in university are very deep rooted in theory. And then oftentimes it's very, I guess, difficult to find it enjoyable, especially when it's not really, especially when you're not getting that hands-on experience with actually applying like those concepts to, I guess, a real world problem. So then consulting clubs just help you, I guess, have that experience.
Yeah. What's your opinion on IB?
On investment banking?
Yeah.
I was actually considering investment banking going into university. But then I would say that at that point in my life, I sound pretty old then, but like I would say that at that stage, I didn't have a clear understanding of what investment banking was.
Yeah.
And then I mainly wanted to do it simply because I knew some friends, like fathers, who were in that field. Yes. Or dads. But like I would say that I knew some people like in that field, and I was like, oh, it seems pretty interesting, but I didn't have a good understanding of it.
Yeah.
Right. And then, but I would say that there is some overlap between consulting and investment banking, but I would say that I found out that my passion to put it simply, I found out that my passion doesn't really lie there anymore.
Yeah. And would you say that your passion lies in consulting?
I would say that right now, yeah, it does.
And why do you like consulting?
I would say that I like consulting a lot because I guess it's just the interaction with the clients, discovering, I guess, why they, I guess, created the business, and then like why they're doing what they're doing. And then also just helping them and creating like a tangible impact in their organization is something which I find meaningful and something which I enjoy a lot.
Yeah. And would you ever consider creating a business yourself?
Whether I would consider creating a business.
What's your view on startups?
Yeah. I would say that I've definitely considered it, but it's definitely not something that I want to do unless I have an idea. So then I don't want to create a startup simply for creating
You don't want to force an idea.
Yeah, I don't want to force an idea or like simply create a startup simply because, I want to be the CEO of my own company, right?
That would be pretty cool though.
It would be pretty cool, but like I want to have an idea which, I feel passionate about,
Wow, that's so cool. And what are your thoughts? I guess you've worked on 2 projects. Have you had like interactions with the founders of these projects?
Yes, so actually for both of the projects, we worked directly with the founders. So for Pori, we worked together with one of the co-founders, so then that was Sam. And then for Gobble as well, we're working directly with Shindon to, I guess, help him, increase his visibility in the market.
Yeah. And did you talk to them about what motivated them to start their project?
Yeah. So then with Shindon, it was very much because he wanted to, I guess he saw it, well, first and foremost, he saw it as like a good business opportunity. But then secondly, it was also like a space which he was very passionate about because he knew a few people who were in the NDIS.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to create a plan management company which directly addressed their needs and helped them.
Definitely creating something is really cool. But we just have to be very passionate about what we're doing, and we can't give up when we, hit rock bottom, And that's often very hard because you feel like it might not pay off in the long term, like your efforts. But I guess it's just keeping on going with what you're doing. And if you're passionate about something, I think it makes that process easier. Yeah.
I would say the riskiness is almost fun, though. Honestly fun. Because then, like, if you would look back on it in the future, you'll be like, this is like a stage where I was pretty uncertain on whether or not I would succeed. But then I actually succeeded, right? So then it would be something which I think that you would probably feel very proud of.
Yeah, it's about the journey, not the destination. Do you have any internships right now or anything lined up, or do you have a part-time job?
I have, I guess, an internship lined up for the summer. But
What are you doing for it?
It's with Monitor Deloitte.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's with their Deloitte strategy arm, I guess, and then that's going to be in management consulting. But then I would say right now I haven't actually done any internships apart from but yeah.
Nice. Are you excited for management consulting for Deloitte?
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty excited, honestly. I don't know what to expect, honestly. I would say that I have a few expectations from my projects in Business One, but then I'm expecting it to be very different and there to be a lot of slide deck making. So then,
Yeah. What's your opinion on slide deck making? Do you like it? Do you not?
I would say that it's definitely a good skill to develop.
Yeah.
But then I would say that definitely doing slide decks for a long period of time isn't the most enjoyable thing for a project. So I would say that, they're definitely, for projects, they're definitely more interesting things to do, such as like research and stuff. But like slide deck making is very much an essential process, which I guess helps communicate your final ideas to your clients.
Yeah. See, I didn't even know slide decking was a thing before I came to uni, because in high school, the presentations that we did, we just search up images on Google and drag it into PowerPoint, and like PowerPoint gives you templates
Oh,
on
yeah?
how the image should be formatted, and you
Mhm.
just click on one of them and it's so easy.
Yeah.
But then like slide decking and case comps, oh my god, don't even get me started about case comps. Yeah. How's your case comp experience been?
I would say that I would say I've done a few case competitions, yeah, and I would say that they're pretty enjoyable, honestly, but pretty stressful. Very stressful, actually.
Very stressful. Nice. I know that you've won the BCG Case Comp.
Mhm.
So do you mind telling us a little bit more about what you had to do in that case comp and how your team handled the case and how you managed your time?
Yeah, so the BCG Case Comp was focused on a company called Livestream.
Mm.
So then they were a personal safety app. So then basically helping you to feel safe in dangerous situations. So for example, if you're on a night out and stuff, they have like some security features which would ensure that you would be able to access the help that you would need if you were ever in a dangerous situation. So then that's like helping you call emergency services or perhaps like contact, emergency services or like
Yeah.
location tracking and stuff like that.
Isn't that just like Live 360?
Yeah, I would say essentially, like Life 360 was one of their biggest competitors.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
then the main, I guess, question that we had to address was basically how that we can, I guess, increase the number of users on the app. So then that's like developing different recommendations on how they can further tailor their app to their target market. So then that was young people from ages like 15 to like 25. Yeah.
Nice. And what was the prize for winning?
The prize was a first round interview with
Yeah.
BCG and
Nice.
$750 cash prize to be split evenly.
What other case comps have you done? Did you do any in your first year?
Yeah, I did a few in my first year. So I did I did an MMI one actually.
Oh,
So then,
the GMCC?
yeah, so then the Global Microfinance Case Competition. Yeah, and then that was, a case competition focused around a microfinance firm. So then that was focused around EMI. So I'm not going to try
Ooh.
pronounce the company name, like
Yeah, no, that's...
Pasana.
Oh,
Panther.
okay.
Yeah, so then that was a microfinance institution in Laos. Yeah.
I think that's a project actually this year. EMI.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then that's one of their long-standing clients, I think.
Did you place in that one?
We were the campus winner for that one.
Yay! Class.
Thank you.
That's so cool. And what are your thoughts on the UniMelb Commerce degree? Do you think it's a useful degree to have? That was a bit of a random question. Sorry, I just heard like some people said commerce is like such a not useful degree.
I would say that in terms of my thoughts for commerce, there's currently the stigma that people only do commerce when they have no idea what they want to do. And then for some people that might be true. However, for others, it might be a good segue to go into a lot of corporate jobs in the future. Yeah. So then, for example, if you want to do like management consulting or investment banking, I think it's a good degree to like help you develop a lot of the financial skills that you would need for those jobs as well. Yeah. But I would say that in terms of the usefulness of the degree, it's very difficult to gauge, really, because that would also depend on the individual. So then, like,
the
which
subjects.
which subjects that they're doing, how they actually manage the degree with like other commitments and stuff. Yeah,
That's true. And do you reckon the commerce degree is the right degree for you?
Yeah, definitely.
sure.
I was actually contemplating whether or not I should do science, so then like engineering or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like computer science. But then I think for me, I liked economics when I was in high school.
Me
So-
too.
Yeah, so then I chose commerce because it was a good way to like, I guess, continue studying economics and then have like, I guess, enough breadth to do like other subjects within like other disciplines. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you like economics in high school?
Or I would say that I liked economics because we did a lot of case studies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then I would say that it's 80% due to my economics teacher.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so nice.
Yeah, he very much made the class very enjoyable and made it something which was very interesting. So then, like, most days in class, he would talk about, like, a recent article that came out, or, like, so then print out, like, articles from, like, The Economist or something like that, which we could, like, read. So it was very interesting to see, I guess, how the theories and how what we were studying in class could be, like, applied to real life, and then also just, it was just an enjoyable class overall.
Oh, I loved economics in high school as well. It was like my favourite class because it was so fun. Yeah, it's like learning about, because before studying economics, all we had was like chemistry and like maths, and none of them really related to what was happening in the real world. I guess I was in year 11 in 2020, and that was during like all the pandemic stuff.
Yeah.
So eco really helped us to understand like what was happening around the world.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I remember learning about like monetary policy in class, and then hearing like interest rate got dropped.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I actually know like what that means, which is like so cool. Yeah. Also, do you read The Economist?
I used to read it a lot more.
Same.
Yeah, so I had I have a subscription actually.
No, I like listening to Money Talks on Economist.
Oh yeah?
It's so good. Yeah. They were talking about like ESGs this morning, and we had just done the case comp and ESGs for FMAA.
Yeah, nice.
So I was like, oh my god, I know what they're talking about. Yeah, how did you find like keeping in touch with your New Zealand friends?
I would say that I moved to Melbourne actually with a few of my New Zealand friends.
Oh.
So then like I'm still very much like in contact with them, and I talk to them very regularly.
Yeah.
But then I would say that for a lot of other friends, it's very much like maybe once every like month or like once every week kind of conversation, because it's like difficult to, I guess, keep track of things and then also like talk to them as much as I did in high school with like our different commitments. And
because you see them every day in high school, and then after you graduate,
And then I would say a lot of my friends, they went like everywhere. So I have a few in America. I have one in the Netherlands, you know?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So then it's like difficult to talk to them with the time difference, and then also it's because we kind of just want to like live our lives in like whatever country we're in.
You just get, I feel like what I found is I just get so occupied with uni and clubs and like my friends here and college life that I just kind of neglect keeping in touch with people, which is so bad on my behalf. But yeah, I need to work on that. Yeah.
It's not really manageable to like keep in contact with all your high school friends.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like I had a pretty big social group. Like and then like talking to like in high school, I didn't even talk to all of them regularly.
That's so true.
But
it makes it easy because you see them around school and you like say hi and everything, so it doesn't feel like it's been too long. Yeah. Do you feel like Melbourne changed you?
Yeah.
For the better?
Or I would leave that up to like someone else's judgment, but I would say that after coming to Melbourne, I'm a lot more independent. But I would say there was a part of me that was always independent or like seeking to be independent, but because I came to Melbourne, I went straight to like living alone, right? And then managing my own time and stuff like that. It definitely changed me a bit.
See, I feel the same. I feel like I'm much more independent as well. So you didn't stay out of college in your first year, you just went straight to living alone? How did you find like from living with your family to living alone?
It's honestly, it's not that scary. I think there are a lot
I love to live alone.
There are definitely moments where you do miss your family, but then I would say that's a part of just moving out of your like family home in general, and then being independent as well. Like I think it's very important that you actually keep in contact with a few friends, right? Because like sometimes living alone can be isolating. Right. So it's just like making sure that you're not like isolating yourself in your house too much.
That's true. And how have you found like keeping in contact with your family? Because for me, it's like difficult finding a block of time that's long enough to have a decent chat with your family members. Yeah, and especially like my dad's overseas, my mum's in Brisbane, my brothers are in Brisbane, my grandparents are overseas. That when I was in Brisbane, it was easy to like video call them once a week for like a long period of time, because we're all like, I suppose we're all together in one place and they're all together in the other place, But then now I'm like away from like everyone else. It's like difficult FaceTiming so many people, like once a week, because it takes up a lot of time. So I feel like I haven't been, this is so bad, but like I feel like I haven't been making my best effort to keep in touch with like all my family and stuff.
I would say I'm the same, because it's very difficult, I think, to, I guess, make time for them, which sounds really bad, but then I think a lot of the times you get wrapped up in, I guess, your new life. And then I think they're pretty understanding, right? But then I think now I'm like, with my mum, I'm like making time every single week to at least call her once and then have a long chat, right? Yeah. But then I think sometimes it's like, I definitely miss talking to her every day.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like, I guess as an adult, it's like
It's
kind of a
inevitable.
part of, it's inevitable and a part of growing up.
So that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much to Carlie for coming onto our podcast.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, see you guys next time. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this and learnt something out of it. But yeah, thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye, guys.